Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very special edition of the Three Idiots in a Room podcast. This is our Halloween special, and joining me today, we have our regular co-host, Mr. Nick Vandevoort. Hello.
Yeah, today's special because we're going back to our roots of only two people. Yeah.
We had like a streak of like 3 or 4 episodes where there were more than 2 people, but now we're just back to, you know, the core of the show, the heart of it.
Yes, the part that still beats on and thrives while all else dies. Speaking of dying, happy Halloween!
Yes, it is Halloween. The leaves are finally finishing up their falling streak, and Michael Myers is going to come out and kill everyone tonight, so I feel pretty good about that.
He's Friday the 13th. That didn't happen this year.
Yeah, that's next month.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, hold off on him, but he's coming on. He's on the way. It's going to be a little late this year.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, there's a movie coming out on the 13th next month called Freaky, and it's coming out on Friday the 13th, and what's interesting is that there's a Disney movie called Freaky Friday, and I think they wanted to call it Freaky Friday, but they couldn't because Disney owned it. So they called it Freaky and put it out on Friday the 13th. So it's like
fair enough, it's a good enough workaround for me.
It's like a clever little marketing trick.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling today? This year's Halloween.
I'm feeling kind of depressed, to be completely honest. COVID cases are way up in Wisconsin right now.
Yeah, they're kind of going up around here as well. Well, more so in rural North Dakota, but...
Yeah. It's not fun. It's, like, really depressing to see just the world go to crap.
I mean, you gotta pound stuff to ashes in order to build better shit out of it, right?
Right.
So, like, you gotta hope, like, after all this struggle, there's gonna be something better at the end. Like,
I think so. Especially if next week comes out like I'm hoping it will.
Next week?
Yeah, election week. I don't want to get...
yeah. I forgot.
I don't really want to get too much into politics, but yes, I am voting. How about you?
Yeah, I registered. One of my roommates did. The other refuses.
Good on him, honestly. Like, I don't know what the right thing is,
Oh well.
But that's our political discussion for today, folks.
Moving along. So, you dressing up as anything today?
No, I'm not even probably gonna leave the house except to go grocery shopping.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be dressing up as a construction worker because there's a contest that goes on at work, costume contest and whatnot. And then later today we're having a small Halloween party, so
that's
gonna
cool.
Be fun. Yeah. Can't wait to forget the nights in the morning.
Oh my god, the drinks are gonna fly, aren't they?
Probably. One of my roommates got me to buy a 30-pack of Busch Light, so...
Oh, wow. That's gonna be interesting, to say the least.
Hell yeah. Anyway.
Speaking of drinks, have you gotten really drunk since the last time you did?
Since my birthday? No,
yeah.
I can't say I've gotten to that level yet. Or, again, probably tonight. Probably tonight's gonna be that again, but nah, I mean, there's no real reason to. I'm kind of trying to avoid hangovers after going up to work hungover the one time, so.
Oh yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, and tomorrow I gotta film for my film project in the afternoon, so I don't want to get too wasted tonight either, so.
Oh, what's your film project?
Yeah, so one of my classes is literally called documentary filmmaking.
And
we've been spending the past 2 months communicating with a client, setting up a plan of how to film the documentary. Now we're finally getting around to filming the darn thing. So
cool. What's it all about?
Everyone was given a choice of like a leader within the community that they could focus in on. Me and my partner, we're doing a gal named Sarah Watson Curry. She served on the local city council for a while, as well as holding other positions of leadership within the community. So
that's pretty cool.
It is. I'm mostly excited to finally film it and then get to editing, because the other guy, he took on the job of producing and cinematography, so I've just been kind of sitting around waiting for us to finally get the footage, because I'm the editor. I can't really do much until we get that edit in, so.
Right. Editing is honestly like one of the best parts about doing a film project.
Yeah. Like, I edited for that class, we also had to do a short PSA, and I haven't edited anything in a while. It just reminded me how fun it was, the process and everything, so.
I know when we filmed It's the Arts, that was one of the most fun parts, just editing it and getting all those shots to line up.
Yeah.
Like I had never really done anything like that before where, the audio was in one thing and then, the shot was in an, I don't know how to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty standard technique, but when you're doing it for the first few times, it's pretty, intriguing to set it all up and make it work. So,
of course, with COVID, I haven't had any like real film projects besides that one.
Yeah, same here. So, which is unfortunate as I am a film major. I feel like I have definitely not worked towards that as much as I could have, given that it's, my career choice. But still
Right.
time to make that up at least.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. While we're on the topic of film, I was thinking, what's your favorite horror movie?
Favorite horror movie? I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't watched that many horror movies, so my selection is quite limited. But I think the one that sticks out to me the most is Hereditary, directed by Ari Aster.
Ooh.
So, fun story about that one. When I was 17, during the summer of that year or something, I wasn't shifted for work that much because I didn't want to be shifted for work that much, but I didn't want my parents to think that I was just lazing around. So I would go out some days and just drive around or watch a movie and say that I was going to work. Which led me to go to the movie theater watching movies blind, because I wouldn't look up what was going on and I wouldn't look up the movies. I would just walk in and be like, yeah, I could watch that one. It's like 2 hours long. That would probably kill some good time. Mm-hmm. So I walk into the theater and I see this poster for Hereditary and I'm like, oh, this looks like an interesting kind of movie. I had no clue that it was a horror movie, let alone the quality of it. So, not to spoil anything, but it's not the traditional horror. It's just very, very terrifying. You see everything from the perspective of the family that the movie follows, and you truly do not understand what's going on. Even when the ending comes, you don't fully understand what's happened. So I think it really gets you with that perspective of events.
I love movies like that.
Yeah. What about you?
My favorite horror movie would probably have to be The Shining, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have yet to see that one. But
well, I know what we're watching next time you come over.
Speaking of that, I'm actually coming over November 5th through the 8th. I don't think I've told you this, but my car was totaled in a car accident recently.
Really? What happened there?
I was in the literal middle of a car accident.
Wow.
So there were the city of Fargo has a lot of train tracks rolling through it, right?
Yeah.
Like the city was built around like one railway, and then two other railroad companies came in and started putting down their own railroads, which kind of messed up the layout of the city because they weren't, built around the other railroads. There's still road construction that's trying to, make better pathways around them. Anyways, right. So the trains were rolling through town, or they had just finished rolling through town, and I was on my way to work to film a political debate at a local TV station, which is a fun little story on its own on how I got there. But so I was driving to the TV station, and I stop at an intersection, and the intersection in front of me has traffic piled up to the end of my intersection. But I see that there's just enough space at the end where I could fit my car in. So when the light turns green, I drive forward and I stop. But the person behind me, I guess, was distracted or thought I'd keep going or something, because they they kept going at a speed that assumed that I was gonna keep going.
Oh,
And I heard them
no.
screeching on the brakes at like the last second as they rammed the end of my car. And then the front of my car rammed into the back of the car in front of me.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah, so that's basically that's how that happened. The entire trunk was pushed in. It couldn't open or close properly.
Oh no.
The front wasn't as bad, but it was still pushed in. And I heard the engine making a different noise when I was driving it around for the next few days. So it was still drivable, but like I definitely didn't feel all that safe within it.
For sure.
Yeah, so that was fun dealing out with insurance calls, you know, feeling like an adult for the first time in a while. But yeah, so the car was towed away last week, and it's I've been having to walk and bus around for a while. So
you gonna take a bus back here, or are you getting a ride?
Yeah, I should be taking a bus. There's a big bus line called Jefferson Lines that kind of spans across the nation, so I'll be able to take that all the way back to Eau Claire and then get a car and drive back up here. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to maybe do a in-person recording.
That would be nice, yeah.
Let's see. There was something else I wanted to bring up. Oh yeah. A while back, I don't know if you remember, we saw a movie called Chappaquiddick.
What?
Chappaquiddick.
Chappaquiddick. You're gonna have to remind me what that was about.
Okay, it was about the deal with Robert F. Kennedy and how he crashed the car.
Okay, yeah, I remember. Yes.
Yeah,
what about
because when we saw it, you were just kind of speechless, and you didn't really know what to say, and we never really brought it up again. So I was, thinking like, did you have any thoughts about it now, looking back on it?
Well, the fact that I didn't remember the name of the movie is already a bad sign of my memory of the film. I was stunned by it because the big thing that I was stunned by was the ending. Like, they had to stay true to real life, but just they were building him up for such a growth, and then he just goes back on it right towards the end. I remember at the time I was the curse of syphilis? Is it syphilis? That sounds like a STD.
Was it something at school? I can't remember.
The Greek myth about a guy who's cursed to push a boulder up a hill.
Oh,
Sisyphus. Yeah, Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Is syphilis a STD though?
Yeah, I think so. Syphilis.
Yeah, syphilis is a bacterial bad infection. Well, Sisyphus is a Greek. Okay, that's really confusing.
This show could just have segments called Chris and Nick Google stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Google is pretty handy for when you want to learn something fast. So it would be more entertaining if we just argued about it. But I'd rather have the definitive fact of if I'm saying an STD or not.
Exactly. But
yeah,
anyway,
getting back to the topic, the curse of Sisyphus. Yeah, I recall me equating his struggle to that, because despite all his efforts to move on, he ends up back where he started, essentially. So
right.
I remember equating it to that because philosophy class. we talked about that quite a bit recently. So there was a lot of stuff in philosophy class that I was drawn on a lot back at that time.
I haven't taken philosophy yet, but next semester I'm going to.
Nice. Is it still split up into 2 different classes?
Yeah, as far as I know, for second semester.
Okay. You taking both or?
Um, Wait, what? Are you talking about the different cohorts, or what are you talking about?
Well, okay, so when I took philosophy, it was split up into philosophy A and philosophy B, and you didn't have to take one before the other. It was just like one was more focused on one side of philosophy, and then the other was focused on a different side.
I see. In that case, I don't think it's split up anymore.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
But I'm kind of excited to learn about it. I've always been interested in that kind of thing.
Yeah, it definitely it propelled a lot of new ideas for some of my story worlds, just taking certain philosophies and applying them to characters in order to develop them a lot more,
Right.
add more depth to the, I guess, thematic depth,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I remember.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I remember one particular philosophy I held on to a lot was called radical freedom. And it's essentially the philosophy is that everyone has the choice to do anything within any particular moment. So, for example, I could stop talking to you, open up my window, and just hop out of it because I have the freedom to do so. There's nothing stopping me from doing that other than, my fear of that freedom and the consequences that may come with it. So, radical freedom says that it is unethical, so it is morally wrong to act in a way that is against what you want to do because you can do what you want to do within literally any moment.
Right.
And I just find that idea kind of fascinating and also really ridiculous.
It is kind of amazing, like the way the brain works. It's just so funny to me that the brain is this all-knowing thing, and or we can train it to be this all-knowing thing, and the brain named itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, the brain is just fascinating to me, so I'm really excited to take that class.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's teaching it?
I do not know, actually. Here,
Yeah,
I'll look.
I forget what his name is, or at least, the name of the guy who taught me it. I'm sure he's still around. He's only like early 30s, so.
Yeah, I'm looking it up on my Skyward.
Skyward, dude, that brings back memories.
I am gonna be so happy to be rid of it.
Yeah, nowadays it's D2L for me. That's the Skyward equivalent.
Psychology, Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yeah. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Did you have Jahnke for English?
No. I took AP Englishes my junior and senior year, so.
Nerd.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm the one making stories over here.
Yeah. But we have Jahnke, and we just went out into the courtyard for the first time and took a picture out there.
Yeah. Well, so I'm guessing it's related to a project or something?
Yeah, it's called the Oxford Project.
What's that all about?
So this guy down in Iowa, he lived in this small town called Oxford for his whole life, and one day he decided he was just going to start taking pictures of everyone in the town. So he did, and then 20 years later, he comes back in 2004, and he takes pictures of everyone again, and he has them write an essay on what they've learned in the span of when he took the original pictures to when he took the new pictures.
Okay.
And from what I understand, he's going to probably do it again in 2024.
So, this Oxford project for your class, I am assuming that he's gonna try and get you all together again in some years, or is it like an end of the year thing?
No, it's not us. It's this guy did it down in Iowa, but my teacher wants us to do the same thing and make a book.
Okay.
So, it's pretty cool. And we got to take a class picture out in the courtyard, and no one has ever been out in the courtyard, so that was a really cool moment.
Yeah, I've personally, I have been in that courtyard, actually.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I remember, what was it? That, I forget what you call them, but like, as a senior, I signed up to be like part of that group of people that introduced the freshmen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and for part of that, or like at the end of the night, we had a talent show in the courtyard, along with like food and snacks and whatnot. So.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've also been above the courtyard.
On the roof?
Yeah. That was a cool view.
How did you get up there? Did you just sneak up?
It was broad daylight, and there were cops visiting the school, and I was just like, no better time. In seriousness, Mitch and I, Mitch knew the way up from someone else telling him, and as Mitch usually does know about these things. So yeah, we climbed up. Should I release where the climb up point is? It's
oh,
not
please.
Like cops are, yeah, okay. So you know the choir door, yeah?
Yeah.
There's that little fence by it, and then if you hop over that fence, there's the big like engine or generator or something.
Yeah.
There's a pipe next to that you can climb up. And it'll take you up to the roof.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
But, that's such an exposed spot. The only time you can realistically climb up is during the night. So,
yeah.
And they also have CCTV cameras. So, I remember Mitch was telling me to wear a hoodie and keep my head low. So,
that makes sense, yeah. Don't want to get caught doing that.
Yeah, but you won't be able to get everywhere on the roof unless you have a second person with you, because some of those spots are really hard to climb up on your own.
That makes sense, yeah.
So either have really good upper body strength or just bring a second person.
Well, I guess I won't be going up on the roof then, because everyone's too busy to hang out, and I'm too fat to have any good upper body strength.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be anytime soon. It's also snowing soon, I assume, and you don't want to be up there when it snows.
No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I remember the time that you guys brought me up to the rafters in the auditorium.
Yeah, that's also a fun spot, ain't it?
Yeah, you can see a lot from up there.
Yeah, Mitch showed me another way you can get up there, which is also another climbing route. So if the door's locked, you can just go. That one's significantly more dangerous, though, than getting up on the roof, ironically enough.
Let me guess, is it climbing up the ropes?
Yeah. Yeah, it's climbing up the ropes.
No. I would never climb up those ropes.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That was a one-time deal for me, so.
Partly because, for one, those things could snap at any time.
Well, okay, to their credit, those ropes have been there for years, and they're also really thick. It's more so the fear of, losing your grip along the way,
That's true, yeah. Another thing is, like I had a bad experience with a rope when I was a kid. I was climbing a rope and I slid down and got rope burn on my hands.
Ooh.
And it stung for like a week and a half. And I don't think I've ever tried to climb a rope since.
Yikes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never very proficient at ropes either.
No.
I remember elementary school, we had ropes in the gymnasium that we could climb whenever. And I was never able to make it more than like half an inch off the ground. I just could not learn how to climb those things, so.
No. Are you still working at the grocery store?
Hornbachers? Yeah. I'm thinking of quitting probably after the holidays.
Why is that?
When I first went into college, I told myself that by the time I was an upperclassman, I wanted to be working somewhere more relevant to my studies, so TV
that
station
makes
or
sense.
something.
Yeah.
And while I do have a TV station that contacts me whenever they need an extra cameraman, it's not really consistent work because I've only worked with them in March and then recently here with political debates.
Yeah.
So I want to get something steady going and actually get more field experience. Because, yeah, I don't want to graduate and then, like, not know what to do next, you know? that just kind of, that would scare me. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually not working at Dairy Queen anymore.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, I got fired.
What? I was about to ask what made you quit, but what made you fired?
Well, apparently, if you accidentally put on a double discount, because you could ring yourself up there.
Yeah.
So if you accidentally put on a double discount, once is, like very, very frowned upon, but whatever. More than that, zero tolerance.
So you double discounted yourself?
Yeah, on accident.
See, this is why you should just have other people do it for you.
I know. I've learned my lesson. If I ever get a fast food job again, I am not going to do that.
Well, that's dumb. Man.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I probably should have just fought for a write-up, but I didn't, which actually worked out better, because the very next day I got another job.
Really?
Yeah. A few weeks ago, I had signed up for a delivery company, and the day after I got fired, I got the shirt. So I started work like the next day.
Oh, shit. It worked out anyway, huh?
Yeah.
So, wait, what are you working for now?
I'm working for a company called C.A.F.E, and it's basically where I go over to Target and pick up people's groceries and bring it to their house.
Okay. Yeah, so one of those.
I've only been working for 2 weeks, and I've already made, over $500.
Nice work. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's more than I would make at Dairy Queen, working what I have worked, because I haven't worked many hours. I've only been getting paid by the job. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I tried signing up for a company like that back when COVID started hitting, because I was getting significantly less hours at the grocery store. But go figure, a bunch of other people had the same idea as me. And I was put on a very long queue, and I wasn't contacted back until like June. So by that point, it was too late.
Yeah, it's like not worth it once they get back to you so late.
Yeah. The same thing happened with the. I signed up for the census back in March as well, and they didn't get back to me until July. That one, I should have went with that one, honestly, because that's $18 an hour, and I could have used that money now. But
oh, for sure.
oh well.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking before I got that job, like, because the night you get fired, you're thinking about all your options and like laying them all down. And I was thinking of going to Menard's distribution center because it's guaranteed hours over there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of outside labor and stuff, so it seemed fun. But I think I like this job more than I would anywhere else.
I think that job's probably better for you than working at warehouse anyhow, because I worked at UPS last summer, not this summer, but 2019 summer, and that got me guaranteed hours. I always had 20 hours a week. Monday through Friday, I was working at least 4 hours every day, in the mornings, like 4 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Ooh.
So it's not so bad once you get adjusted to the sleep schedule, but yeah, it felt like. Anyway, that's not my main complaint about the job. The main thing that came out of that was just how I felt really stressed almost the whole time, because it was so fast paced and I had to do everything at just such a pace. I don't know, it was so. I think you're definitely better with that job, if you ask me.
Yeah. Whoops.
What? Did you spill something?
No, I accidentally started the music. I don't know if it came up. But anyway, I think we should actually talk about Halloween now because it is a Halloween special.
Is this uploaded on today?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So we should just stop dancing around the issue and
the issue, Halloween, the dilemma. Yeah. All right. So, what are your predictions for? Well, is that a good way to lead off? I don't know. What is there to talk about this year? Because.
Well, first of all, I don't even know if trick-or-treating is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think in neighborhoods like this, there might be a few kids because kids in this area are greedy. Let's be honest. But in other areas of town, I don't know if there are going to be any kids walking around.
Yeah, I'm imagining there's just going to be a lot of bowls of candy stuck outside. Mm-hmm. And then people walk up and take candy, or take one please or whatever.
Yeah, we aren't even doing handing out this year because we just don't know if anyone's coming.
That's also fair. Yeah. I mean, I live in an apartment, so we're not expecting anyone really,
right?
Except for maybe the kid that lives next door. But I don't know if they want to be knocking when they hear the party going down tonight. Yeah. So that's gonna be odd times.
I mean, it's weird because they have Halloween Express open, but what's the point of buying a costume if you're not going to go out?
Costume parties. That's pretty much it.
Well, I understand that, but kids' costumes, I saw a kid at Target yesterday, and she was wearing this witch costume that they were gonna buy, and I'm like, why would you buy that? Nobody's going trick or treating, and if they do, they're probably not gonna get much anyway.
I heard that there were plans for parents to just drive their kids from door to door or whatever.
That makes sense, but it just seems like it would be a lot less fun.
That's significantly less fun, yeah.
So I don't really know what the right thing to do is. This year.
I think the right thing to do is to stay at home, buy yourself a whole bunch of candy, and just binge Halloween movies. Any amount of them. In fact, we should make a recommendation list for anyone who might be listening to this on the same day. So, what are some good Halloween movies that you like to watch around this time of year?
Let's see. One is obviously John Carpenter's Halloween.
Yeah.
That one's, and the 2018 one. Those are the two that are the best out of all of those.
I haven't seen the 2018 one. Was it actually that good?
Yeah, it was. Mostly because it basically deleted all the other canon from every other Halloween movie and just continued the story of the first one.
Okay, that's fair.
So,
Yeah.
so it was no like messed up timelines or anything like that. It was just a straight continuation with Jamie Lee Curtis, and it was really good. Then they're coming out with a sequel to that one called Halloween Kills next year. So that looks pretty good.
Making their new continuity.
Yeah.
Hopefully less fuddled,
Another one that I always watch is Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Well, I've never heard of that one, actually.
It's a Disney animated movie. It's a like anthology film from the 40s.
Okay.
Because they were doing those in wartime to save money. But the first half is Wind in the Willows, and then the second half is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And the Legend of Sleepy Hollow obviously has the Headless Horseman scene, which is a Halloween classic.
Nice. Okay.
Then, this is probably a bit cheesy, but I love The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
God, I haven't watched that one in years, but I've been meaning to.
I'm probably going to watch it tonight. Like, it's just so mellow, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, Charlie Brown's just a movie for a good time, you know?
Yeah.
So...
what else do I like to watch? Ghostbusters, obviously. I like all the old Universal monster movies like Frankenstein and stuff.
Okay.
Like those are classics. And I can't really think of anything else. I mean, I watch The Shining every Halloween, but I watch that, you know, all year round too. So, yeah, I don't really know any more Halloween movies. Really.
My roommate last night, he watched The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Do you classify that as Halloween or Christmas film though? Like it seems like it could be both.
I watch it around Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Fair enough. You know, a happy medium. So
no,
save it for next month,
huh? But seriously, I watch it around Christmas because it just feels more Christmassy to me, you know.
All right, yeah.
Like
it's in nature and spirit. It's a musical. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense. My mother recommended to me the Rocky Horror Show.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Same here, but she wanted me to put it on tonight at our party, if not only to just have it in the background, and have it so that our drunk and high selves can stare at something. I guess it's another one. I don't know. I guess there could be more modern films on there, but like I said, I haven't even watched that many modern horror films. So
yeah, I did see a weird Halloween special the other day. It's called Halloween is Grinch Night.
Huh.
And it's where they tried to make the Grinch a staple of Halloween as well as Christmas.
That didn't work, evidently.
Except for like the last 5 minutes, it's really not a good special.
Okay.
Because in the last 5 minutes, it's just trippy Dr. Seuss animation, and it's awesome. But the rest of it is just boring and slow, and it has so much filler. Like I've never seen a show with more filler than that one. So, if you want to check it out, it's not that.
If you want to check it out, skip to the end.
Yeah. Like the last 5 minutes, you watch that, you're not going to be disappointed.
Have you ever watched Saw?
No, I have not, but I've heard like a lot about it.
Yeah, so when Family Video over in Eau Claire was closing down, my sis and I went in, and they were basically like you could buy movies from them.
Yeah.
I ended up finding most of them weren't good, but I ended up finding Logan, which is a good not for Halloween, but that's just a good movie.
Yeah.
And Saw. And I remember bringing it up to the clerk, and he was like, "Are you sure these were marked for sale?" And I was like, "Yeah, you could go check it yourself," because I guess he was shocked that good movies were still out there. Anyways, ignore all the other Saws, because as the series goes on, it becomes less about the circumstances and more about the traps and gore. But the very first Saw is just a good movie, and I would say it's a good movie to watch on Halloween. There's like minimal gore in it. It's more about the characters in the situation.
Right.
And it's just, knowing that it's such a low budget film too, and that the stuff that they managed to do with the money they had, it's impressive. So. Yeah.
Oh, here's another one that I watch every Halloween. I don't even know if it's technically a Halloween movie, but it kind of feels like one. The House with a Clock in Its Walls.
Oh, man. I saw trailers for that one, but when did that come out? Like 2018 or last year?
I think it was 2018, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's Jack Black and Helen Mirren. I think that's who it is.
Helen Mirren. Oh, let me look it up. Clock with a house in its walls. Cate Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett. So I was way off.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good one. I won't spoil it for you, but it's pretty Halloween-y.
It says that you can watch now with a subscription to Hulu or Amazon Prime Video. So if you got either of those, you can fire it on up right now.
Yeah. Another one is that new Goosebumps movie that came out, Jack Black.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one's pretty good. I actually avoided it for a while because the original show from the 90s scared me. So I thought, like, a movie...
How did the 90s one scare you? That was ridiculous at times, man.
I have no idea. I mean, like...
Okay, wait, let's establish how old you were at the time.
I was only about 3 years younger than I am now.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, I watched it when I was, like, 11 or 12, and I could see getting spooked around then, but...
Actually... Correction, I don't think the actual show from the 90s scared me. I think it was the spin-off series, Goosebumps Haunting Hour. Like, he did a show later on called Haunting Hour based on those books, and there was one episode that really sticks out in my mind. It's this one where the family moves into a new house, and the house it comes alive, and... it basically, I'm trying to remember. The family realizes it's alive, but like the daughter, she starts to become friends with the house, and I think she even falls in love with it at one point. And basically, they try to move out, but the house consumes her, and like the final shot, that's what scared me the most, because, it obviously had this like face that they were building up, but at the end of it, the face turned to her face, and it was like really creepy, and that's what freaked me out.
Okay. I get you.
Yeah, so I kind of avoided Goosebumps for a while, but the movie was pretty good.
Was the movie more comedic or scary?
It was definitely funny at a lot of points, and then it was creepy at a lot of points too. So it was a horror comedy.
Okay.
Yeah. Another one is Monster House. Have you ever seen that one?
Hold on. I feel like I have. Monster. Yeah. Animated. Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, that one, I haven't watched much, but it's a pretty good one. The house comes alive, and it's pretty creepy.
That one's also on Hulu. Fun fact.
Oh, cool. So, everybody that's listening now, just get Hulu.
Yeah, get Hulu. It's gonna have all your shit for Halloween this year.
Geez, I can't think of any more Halloween movies.
Yeah, you'd think the list would go on and on, but
it's funny.
Paranormal Activity, I guess.
Haven't seen that one.
I haven't either, but you know, it's still a film.
There's actually an interesting marketing campaign with that one. Do you know that story?
No, I haven't. Tell me.
So basically, in the trailers, they all the trailers said, "Demand it at your theater," and that hadn't really been done before. Where the trailer tells you to say, you know, "We want this." So a lot of people got excited because, you know, it was a limited release and it would only come to their theater if they demanded it.
That is interesting. Huh.
Mm-hmm. So, and then of course it got so popular that they made like 10 of them and they all got bad after that.
It says here there's 6 movies in the franchise, the last one being in 2015, but...
Oh.
So that's... I thought it was going on still. That's disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Paranormal Activity, also on Hulu, by the way.
Oh my god!
Honest to God, like there's just so
much. Ooh, here's another good Halloween movie, Coraline.
Ooh.
You ever seen that one?
Hulu. Yeah, I saw
that. I love that movie. I absolutely love stop motion. So that one's just a joy to watch.
Weirdly enough, the last time I watched that one was Prom of 2017.
Prom?
Yeah, I remember after the actual like dance had wrapped up, and me and Kristen went to the house of a friend, and we just hung out watching Coraline.
Kristen?
Yeah, Kristen. Kristen Jahnke.
Did you tell me about her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah. I thought you went with Andy in senior year.
No, I went with Kristen in junior year. I didn't go senior year.
I see. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Is prom anything really to be, like, anything to care about?
It's more about the... I mean, it depends on who you go with. Because it's more about time with friends and a celebration of that kind of stuff. Prom is the actual like dance event. That's kind of a toss-up. If you like just partying down, you'll enjoy that part of it. But like if you don't, then it'll just be awkward and stuff. You'll be hanging around the corner and whatnot.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you hang out with friends too and whatnot. I don't know. It makes good photos, and if you make it into good memories, then prom is good. But like the actual event itself isn't as noteworthy as people make it out to be. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've never really been one for parties of any sort, so I don't know if I would enjoy it that much.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, here we are, 2 idiots sitting in a room.
Yes, about 300 miles away from each other.
Yeah, that gap's gonna get closed pretty soon, though.
Yeah. Well, can you think of anything else?
I guess I want to wrap up by asking, did you tell my sister that I'm in this podcast? Because, like, yesterday she texted me in all caps, "You have a podcast?"
I haven't talked to your sister since you've lived here, I don't think.
That's interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
So then she heard it from one... I'm curious who she heard it from.
I know I told Andy because I ran into her at the gas station one day.
Oh, okay.
but I don't know if she knows Sabrina or not.
Well, no, she wouldn't be talking to Sabrina. I'm thinking, who? The,
Wait.
Willow. Willow told me that she's friends with Winter, and
Oh.
Sabrina dated Winter for a while.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
I'm guessing that's probably the most likely connection of that or Peyton. She talks
Peyton
to
might have.
Peyton. Yeah.
Though Peyton and I don't talk very much anymore.
Hmm. Well
So
then,
I don't know.
yeah. You see, I could just ask her where she heard it from, but I like I like it more when I have to piece it together myself, like I'm Sherlock Holmes or some shit.
Yeah. You know what? I think I know how to end this episode off.
Uh-huh.
Let's each tell a ghost story.
Oh shit! All right,
you,
you first, man.
all right. So this one was told to me in a camp that I went to. It was like a winter retreat camp, and it scared the living crap out of me. Like, all right. So I don't know if you've heard it before, but it's called the Russian sleep experiment.
Ooh, I know this one.
Okay, I'll tell it anyway. So, back in World War II, these Russian scientists had these tests going on where they wanted to see how long a person could stay awake without going crazy. So, they took POWs from the war and they put them in this room, and they were given anything they ever wanted, but they had this gas like sent in through these vents that would keep them awake for days on end. So they watch them for the first few days, everything's going fine, and then eventually they start experiencing like changes that would come out of any sleep deprivation, tests. And they basically started just pacing up and down. They stopped talking, they stopped eating or anything like that. And as the days go on, they start getting a lot thinner. They start getting, their skin just gets all wrinkly and they're just really creepy. It's a really creepy story, especially if you see the pictures. And one day, the scientists notice that they aren't really doing anything. And then they happen to look in the corner and they're eating one of the participants. So they have to go in there and get the other person, and they're like, being chased around by the people. So now this is a really big threat because these people are eating each other after being sleep deprived for so long. So now they're put into their own cells, and they start eating themselves after a few days. So they have to bring the one person out because they realize they can't do this anymore. So they have to kill him. And they put him in the chair and they're about to inject him. And he breaks through the bonds and rips his face off and eats it.
Jeez.
And after that, the gas was thrown into the ocean and it was never seen again.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the version you heard, but that's the version I heard at camp.
You heard it at camp.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I don't know that many ghost stories, if I'm being honest. But I'm looking in this book to see if this one counts.
Probably will.
Yeah, so I'm reading this book of short stories, and it leads off with this one that's literally like a paragraph long. It probably won't qualify as a ghost story, but I'll tell it anyways.
Okay.
There was a merchant in Baghdad who sent his servant to market to buy provisions, and in a little while the servant came back, white and trembling, and said, "Master, just now when I was in the marketplace, I was jostled by a woman in the crowd, and when I turned, I saw it was death that jostled me. She looked at me and made a threatening gesture. Now lend me your horse, and I will ride away from the city and avoid my fate." I will go to Samara, and there death will not find me. The merchant lent him his horse, and the servant mounted it, and he dug his spurs in its flanks, and as fast as the horse could gallop he went. Then the merchant went down to the marketplace, and he saw me standing in the crowd, and he came to me and said, "Why did you make a threatening gesture to my servant when you saw him this morning?" "That was not a threatening gesture," I said. "It was only a start of surprise. I was astounded to see him in Baghdad, for I had an appointment with him tonight in Samara."
That's creepy.
Yeah. So the story is basically, it's called Death Speaks, and it's accredited to an unknown author, but it's been heralded as one of the best short stories of all time. Because
Dang.
yeah, it really does master the craft of a short story pretty well. So.
Well, I think this made for a creepy end of a otherwise idiotic podcast.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, all these are pretty idiotic.
I mean, it's nothing new. It's in the title. If you expected anything different, you should listen to something else.
Well, anyway, you got anything else?
Nah, not really. Just stay safe and be spooky.
Alrighty. Have fun at your party tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
And to all of you out there, happy Halloween. I've been your host, Chris Jahnke.
Yeah, and I'm the other guy.
And this has been the 3 Idiots in a Room podcast. And remember, I don't know.
He forgot.
And a rendezvous. Your eyes held a message tender, saying I surrender all my love to you. Midnight brought us sweet romance. I know all my whole life through I'll be remembering you, whatever else I do. Midnight, where the stars and you.